So today we're going to learn a strategy that's going to help us read long words. And by long words, I mean multisyllabic words. Okay, and this strategy is going to teach us how to break big words into smaller, readable parts. In order to use our strategy, we need to know some things. And last time we learned some prefixes, suffixes, and vowel sounds. Okay, so let's go over those right now. In order to use the decoding strategy, and in order for students to circle the prefixes and suffixes, they need to know what the prefixes and suffixes are. So you have to explicitly teach all of those word parts before you expect them to be able to circle them. So let's go over the ones we learned last time. Everybody, what's that?
In, D, re.
So first, I'm going to look at the beginning of the word, and I'm going to think, do I see a prefix in this word? Yes, and I know we all see it. So you can tell me, what's the prefix?
D.
D. And as I circle it, I'm going to say it. D. Then I look right next to that, because if I had another prefix, that's where it would be, right?
Yeah.
But I don't recognize that. So then I'm going to go all the way to the end of the word. And I'm going to look for a suffix. Good. And does everybody see our suffix?
Yes.
Go ahead and say it.
Ing.
Ing. So I'm going to say it and circle it. Ing. Good. So now I'm going to look for the vowel sounds. Good. You guys already see it. Now, when I underline the vowel, I'm going to underline it, and I'm going to make my mouth match my pencil. So I'm going to say okay? Now, the last step is I have to divide. Now, there's kind of a natural division here, so I'm going to divide right after the prefix. I'm going to divide right before the suffix. But then I'm thinking, do I need to divide that word? No. Good, and here's why. There's one vowel sound. So we are going to leave, from now on, we're going to leave one vowel sound in each word part. Now, what if I had two underlines in that word part? Would I need to divide it?
Yes.
Yes, because you can only leave one vowel sound in each word part. Okay, so I've broken down my word. Now, what is the one part that I might not know? It would be the middle part. Because when I circle these, I'm saying,
You already know them.
yeah, I'm saying, hey, I know this. I'm going to circle it. So with this part, I'm actually going to touch and say each letter. Okay, so I would go fend. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to insert a sound that's not there, and I don't want to leave a sound out. I don't want to say, oh, fed. What I ask students to do is to isolate individual sounds. And I do that in a couple of ways. One way is to ask them to tap it out. So when I do that, they give one finger each sound. And this really helps to make sure that they don't insert or delete sounds that are in that part. Another thing I might do, if it's on the application, is say, okay, touch and say each sound. So then they don't have to tap, but they're actually touching the letters on the iPad. And that serves the same purpose. So what's this part again, everybody? Fend. Now I can say the whole thing. Defending, and then blend it, defending. Excellent. Okay. So now I'm going to give you all a word. And I'm going to ask you a favor. When you see this word, you're probably going to know it. You're going to say, oh, I know that word. But I don't want you to read it, because what we're practicing today is we're practicing using the strategy, okay? So I'm going to pass out a board. We're all going to have the same one, and I'm going to ask you to wait for me. So who remembers, please raise your hand, the first step in our strategy? Miles.
I see in because we already know it, so it's a prefix, so we have to circle it.
Which part, you can just point to it. You can point to it on your board even. Which part is the part we might not know? So let's touch each sound and say it. D-X. Dex. Great. Are we ready to read it?
Index.
You guys seem like you're really getting the hang of this. So I'm going to ask you to erase your boards, and I'm going to come around and write a word on each of your whiteboards, a different word that I'm going to ask you to break down. Should you be silently breaking down a word?
No.
No. You should be reading it as you go. Okay, so let me hear you read it as you go. Okay, ready? And begin.
In.
Good, Anthony. Nice. Good. Perfect. Do you all see how this strategy could help you break down big words?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when are you going to see those big words more and more?
Everywhere mostly.
Everywhere. Where do you go after middle school?
High school.
High school. And where do you go after high school?
College.
College, yes. So next time, we're going to continue to practice our strategy, but we're going to do it on an application called WordBuilder. Okay? So thank you all. In order to use WordBuilder, students need to be very familiar with the decoding strategy. And typically, we transition to WordBuilder in the we do stage of gradual release. They've been taught to circle the prefixes, circle the suffixes, underline the vowels, and leave one vowel sound in each word part. This strategy does not necessarily come naturally. And so we transition to WordBuilder in the we do phase because students may spend the entire first semester of instruction still needing prompting in this strategy. What I've typically seen is it usually isn't until the second semester that students get the strategy and they're really able to use it independently, and they're bringing in articles from other classes and showing me how they've broken down words using the strategy. It works, but it takes a while for students to gain independence using this strategy.